Hey guys, it is Cthulthu here, and it is time for a RuneScape video, and my god, has it been a long time, and I'm been quite excited to make this video. I've been thinking about it for the last couple of days, and I figured, you know what, it is time. It is time to come back to RuneScape, the home, or rather my home. So for those of you who don't know me, I've been playing this game now for the last 23 years. That means that I started playing in 2001, and I have never been able to truly stop playing this game, and I don't feel like I will ever get to a point in my life where I stop playing this game. I will always be someone who plays games. I will always be someone who enjoys probably the same content that I've always enjoyed my entire life. And yeah, while I will always play different games and I will always play new games, you know, right now I'm playing Last Epoch, um, and I was about to name another game, which would be an incredibly bad example of new game. But yeah, Last Epoch is a game that I'm playing. That's brand new. That's a game that I'm really enjoying, and I like enjoying new things. But that does not mean that I don't like coming back to the old stuff. And the other game I was actually going to say was Final Fantasy Rebirth, and that's probably a terrible example to give because Final Fantasy Rebirth is obviously a remake of a game that I played many, many years ago, way before even RuneScape. In fact, it was one of my first games that I'd ever played, and my God, did it blow my mind because of just how amazing and expansive it was, and the fact that it came in this case with four CDs when I was only used to ever having one CD, and I thought, my God, what a mammoth game to play. And so RuneScape, for the very same reason, is a game that I've always come back to and I've always enjoyed because it is a mammoth game. I remember back in the day when you used to have an update every single week without fail, or maybe there was some time, like for example, the bank holidays we have in the UK. Maybe then we didn't get an update. Maybe we didn't get an update during Christmas, but otherwise every single week there would be an update. And the game just got bigger and bigger and bigger, and yeah, I miss those days, and yeah, even though every now and again you get bored of this game, you fall out of love, you think to yourself, I'm never coming back again, I've done everything there is to do. Or sometimes you just think, what am I doing here? Why am I doing the same things over and over again? I've got to get a life. I've got to go out there and do something different. And you will do that, and you will have times like that. But what, you'll probably still come back because this is a sandbox to the max. There's always something for everybody. Whether you like PvP, there's a PvP scene. You need PvE in your life, there's PvE. You just want to relax and do something while you watch a movie. Well, you could come here and fish and mine and do whatever and feel like you're actually, benefiting in two ways. You're getting to watch an incredible movie, whatever that happens to be. For me right now, actually, I'm watching a couple of TV shows. I'm watching Fallout, which I'm not entirely impressed with yet, but I'm only 2 episodes in. Hopefully there's more to it, but I'm enjoying Shogun, an incredible show on Disney Plus right now. And yeah, I can do those things while also, playing RuneScape, and that's one of the things I love about this game. I can't do that with Last Epoch. I can't really enjoy content, different content, a movie, a TV show, while playing Last Epoch. It requires my full attention. You make a couple of mistakes here and there, you stop moving here and there, and you get hit by just a regular enemy, and you get KO'd, and you don't get that with RuneScape. You would do, but you have the option to do something that doesn't require your attention, and then you don't die in one hit. So, that's what I love about this game. It's so versatile. There's so many other things you can do at the same time. Not to mention, you still got this massive community. And when it comes to MMOs, like frankly, one of the most important things is that there was actually a decent player base to actually play with. It's not fun playing a game that you think is a multiplayer, but actually very few people are playing it. It's one of the reasons why, frankly, you should probably stop playing and buying MMOs until we know for certain they're going to stand the test of time. And RuneScape is one of those games that, without a doubt, has stood the test of time, and so have games like Final Fantasy 14 and World of Warcraft, though I've never been able to really get into those games, even though I've tried them both. So yeah, that is RuneScape for you, and that's my history with RuneScape. So here we are. But the one big difference since the last time I posted a video, at least to my memory, is that I've never posted an old school RuneScape video, and here we are playing old school RuneScape. I only started playing this about 18 months ago. Maybe the account's been here for longer. It's one of those accounts, FYI, Rogueleader. I created this account in 2001. So if I actually go into Lumbridge, which I will show you one day, I'll go to Lumbridge and I'll speak to Hans, and he'll tell me that my account is very, very, very old. And And yeah, so this is one of my original accounts, and I should also mention, yeah, Rogueleader, different name, a name you've never seen before. Usually you see Cthulthu, and the reason why I'm playing on this account is because I figured to myself when I actually made it many years ago, I figured, well, what if I want to play old school RuneScape and RuneScape 3 at the same time? Does it make sense then to have this amazing account on Cthulthu on old school RuneScape, which will then stop me from being able to play RS3 at the same time? So I decided to use my alt account, and this used to be my pure at the time. Pures were a big deal in probably around 2002 when it was actually relevant to me, and you weren't just playing the game randomly. Yeah, pures which were basically level 3 defense and then just as much strength as you could get. Not certainly not 99 strength. That was something that didn't happen for many years afterwards. Not many years afterwards, but certainly much later in the game cycle. Um, but yeah, level 3 defense pures were a thing, and this account used to be that. In fact, it might still be that. I don't know what the skills are on RS3. They'll be appalling. But yeah, in fact, another cool thing about this account on RS3 is that I then have the cape. I have whatever the most recent veterans cape is, 20 years, 25 years, whatever it happens to be. I have that on this account, even though I have horrible stats on the account. So it's quite a cool account. Um, but yeah, so this is Rogueleader, and yeah. So where was I going with this? I wasn't necessarily going anywhere with it. Oh yeah, no, I was old school RuneScape. Never really played it before. Started playing 18 months ago, and I played for about 6 months. I then made the mistake of buying a yearly membership, and then I quit. I literally quit a couple of weeks later. So with now 3 months left to go on that membership, I've come back, but I've otherwise wasted 9 months of membership, unfortunately. Not that it's really much of a problem. It is what it is. And also, oh, am I paying full price? I don't actually know what I'm paying for membership on this account. I must be paying full price. I still have an active membership on RS3, even though I haven't logged into that account for maybe a couple of years. But I pay so little on the account. I pay like £3.50 a month on my membership because it's the uh, founders package. Let's call it the founders package. It's not the founders package, but because I've had the membership going on for so long, I get the massively discounted rate on that. But I don't get it for this account, unfortunately, which is really annoying because I haven't had ongoing membership on this account before. So it is what it is. Actually, now I think about it, I probably did throw away quite a bit of money on membership for this account. But with 3 months to go, we're back, and yeah. So I haven't been entirely gone for the last 9 months, but I was certainly only logging in maybe once a month. And what I was doing, I was just hanging out in the fishing guild, just fishing sharks. And then not that long ago, maybe about a month ago or so, I finally got a big shark after probably about exactly 5,000 catches. And that was brilliant. And then I had nothing else to do, and so I thought, well, let's try and get a big bass as well. And trying to get big bass is severely more annoying because you got all sorts of items when you're trying to fish for big bass, including caskets and leather boots and leather gloves and all this random rubbish that you don't want. And so, yeah, actually having to find big bass is actually tougher than sharks, and I just got fed up of it, so I stopped fishing, and then I don't know, I just stopped altogether, and then I came back a couple of weeks ago. Was it a couple of weeks ago? Yeah, it was about a couple of weeks ago. And then I just said to myself, you know what? Let's get out of here. Let's do something. And I ended up going to Barrows. I thought, you know what? I'd like to do some clues. So went to Barrows and almost straight away got an elite clue. Did the elite clue. FYI, I collect my clues. I don't actually do them. And uh, and yeah, I got elite clue, and then I thought, okay, I'm enjoying this more than I thought I would. Continue to do it, and I got obviously some unique Barrows items as well, adding to my collection log, which I very much enjoy. It's one of the best reasons to play the game, frankly, just to see that collection log start to slowly grow. So I was enjoying doing that, and then yeah, I've just carried on ever since, basically. And I say ever since, but again, it's only been 2 weeks. And then also, so we've kind of spiraled out of control just a little bit. So while I was doing Barrows, I was just trying to learn, what's the best way to do this, and what's the most efficient way, what's just the easiest way. And I figured out the easiest way, but in finding out what the easiest way was, I realized that there had been an update while I was away related to combat achievements. And I don't know if this item always existed, but I learnt of the offhand item. for combat achievements, and I realized that actually it has a special effect for barrows, which is it stops prayer drain. So that's very, very cool. So I went and got that, and then I've started just going down the rabbit hole of wanting to see what else can I do with this item, and what else kind of what other perks does it give me for other like bosses that I can kill. And I found out that I can actually merge a couple of the latter versions with a Vernic Defend, and I thought, well, that's nice. It'd be nice to have that. That's basically end gear, right? End game gear. So now I'm thinking about all these achievements, these combat achievements that I would like to complete. So while still doing barrows and also completing all the achievements there, I started looking into some of the easy achievements that I still have to do, and they basically revolved around doing the ogre boss and the moss giant boss, which I've done now, both of those. And the next one is the giant mole, and so that then led me here to Motherlode Mine, and it's very hard to see the logic in that, but let me explain it. One of the things that I read about Giant Mole is that you can't see where it digs. I had known this, though I kind of had to remember it because it's been a while since I've ever been to Giant Mole, and even when I did go to Giant Mole, certainly not a boss you go to in RuneScape 3 because it's such a rubbish boss with nothing to really aim for except for, I guess, now the pet, but the pet certainly wasn't around when I started killing the Giant Mole. And so um, yeah, I learned that basically you could see where the giant mole digs to if you have Falador 3 shield. And so that requires the Falador Hard Diary. And so that requires full Prospector. And so actually I only just got this literally 10 minutes ago, if even that. I've got the achievements here. I'm just scrolling up the chat, but there you go. I bought all 4 items in one go: Prospector helmet, the jacket, the legs, and the boots. And I'm now showing you how it all looks. But yeah, so I thought I'd get the hard diary done, and as soon as I made this video, in fact, I'm gonna go and complete the Falador hard diaries because that was again the whole point of all of this. And then we're done. We're done with Mother Mode Mine. I might then actually sell the equipment. I don't know if there is any other reason to have it except for the mining bonus, which I guess is a good enough reason to keep it. But it's also then worth getting the coal bag and some other bag I think that's available. And because you can sell this gear, I should be able to sell it enough to buy at least one of the bags, and then I think I could even sell the bag that I buy and buy the other bag. So I think I've actually got all the gold nuggets basically that I require to be able to get all the achievement slots here. So it's just now about whether I want to sell this prospector gear to get my nuggets back and then buy the other 2 items, obviously at a loss of nuggets, but it might be worthwhile doing that anyway. So we'll see. I haven't made a decision on that. But first things first, which is let's do the Falador hard achievements now and basically tick that off the task list for the achievement diary, and then I'll probably go to Giant Mole. So that maybe will be the next video where you'll see me doing the tasks and then doing the Giant Mole to get those combat achievements out of the way. And then I'll probably go back to Barrows and work out where I go from there in terms of what the next achievement I'm going to complete is. I've seen some that revolve around Wintertodt, I think it's called, the fire making mini game, and there's another one which I think is called Temper Cross, but that seems to be the fishing mini game. So I think that's probably actually where I'll end up after a little bit of Barrows. But because I am enjoying Barrows, I'm not just going to stop doing that. Now I'm on this kind of slightly different path. I'm just going to mix in between. I'm going to do a bit of Barrows maybe for an hour here, an hour there, and then in between that I will do Temper Cross and I will do Wintertodt and I will do all these other things to get all the easy tasks out of the way, and then I'll start looking at the medium tasks, etc., etc. But that's the way I'm going to do it. And then also, I think I may as well mention while I'm making this video about Barrows, I mentioned Barrows. Number one, I'm really enjoying Barrows. I love Barrows. I forgot how much I love it. Possibly because it's just so easy nowadays, and also because that dopamine effect of actually getting a drop as well. And there are so many collection items to get from Barrows too, so that's really enjoyable. But also, and in fact, I'm going to show you this now because I've got a inventory full of dirt in my inventory, so I can drop that off, and then I'm just going to show you my bank quickly. And the reason I'm going to show you my bank is because I'm going to show you what I'm doing with my clues. But here are my clues: 42 elite caskets. That's now growing nicely. It was 29 when I started Barrows, so was it 29? Yeah. Now I say that, I can't imagine that I've done 13 elites, but I must have done 13 elites because I distinctly remember the number 29. So yeah, we've done quite a few elites already. But then 329 hards, we've got 45 mediums, 25 easies, and 95 beginners, and then also just some caskets from actually fishing the bass I was telling you about. And in fact, let me show you. So do I have the bass still? I don't think I sold it. I don't think yeah, 392 bass, but then also more importantly, let me show you the sharks. So there you go. There's my big shark, and there's the 5,418 sharks that I fished to get that big shark. So that's quite a nice achievement to get. And then also, have I achieved anything else? I feel like I have. What was it? That was it. So while I was doing because this is another reason why I like doing the elite clues. The elite clues sometimes give me like this requirement that I haven't actually got yet. Like for example, I needed pyromancer robes. So I went and got the pyromancer robe, and while I was doing that, it was the last item I got, and I was getting so frustrated because I was getting literally everything. And when I say I was getting everything, I literally mean I got everything. I got drops that I shouldn't have been getting. So let me show you. Collection log. So I don't actually know where Winter Todd is. I'm assuming mini games. Is it green now, actually? It might even be green. I guess that already gives it away now. But no, I couldn't see it there. So maybe it isn't green, or maybe I'm just missing it. Winter Todd, or maybe it just comes down another category. I don't know. Oh, right, I didn't know there was a search function here, actually. But look, there you go. There's my. Oh my God, I'm missing an item. I can't believe it. I'm missing an item. I have to go back there and get the boots. Well, I have to go back there for the task as I said I had to. And maybe I'll get lucky. Maybe I'll get the boots. But where is it? There it is. The Phoenix. I got the Phoenix within 100 attempts, and I got this actually as well. And I believe this has a low drop rate. So I got that. So that was pretty nice. And then I just got into this frustrating run where I got the Phoenix and I got the book and I got literally everything other than these goddamn pyromancer robes, which is all I actually wanted because I only ever did it for the elite crew scroll. So there we go. Right. Well, in the time at which I started this video to now, we've gone from just it being me for at least the last couple of hours as well, to now being three people, so that's frustrating. The last thing I was going to say actually about Barrows, I never really said what I wanted to say, but what I was going to say was Barrows is something that I go way back on. Like again, I started playing this game in 2001, and my first memories of Barrows were amazing. I remember getting my first Durox chest, and at that point, no one knew what a Durox chest was. No one knew about the specials. No one knew anything about anything when it came to Barrows. We barely knew how to do it and how to do it efficiently. And I probably had to go back 3 or 4 times just to open one chest because the amount of food you were losing, and just even being hit by the rocks at the end, like spending money on teleports back when I used to play it was considered a waste of money because it was so precious. It was so hard to get teleport runes. I think teleport runes used to cost 1k each. So the idea of even teleporting out of Barrows was absolutely insane. So you get this falling damage, and right now you don't even think about the falling damage, but we used to have to think about the falling damage. We used to think to ourselves, are these lobsters that I've got left actually going to last me? Not only that, but there was no easy way of getting to Barrow, so you would have to run through, I think, Mort Maya, and you would lose some of your food on the way there. It was just so frustrating doing Barrows back then. And I persisted for however many days, and I got 2 items. One of them was the Durox chest, and I have no idea what the other item was. But I sold both of those pieces for around 5 million to 5.5 million. And at the time, like whips were all the rage. Whips were going for 10 million. It was the pinnacle of the game. So I bought my very first whip from having completed Barrows. And whip was just it was so revolutionary for its time. It's why it's such a popular and such a nostalgic item. It was just, there was nothing like the whip in terms of damage and the way it made you feel and the sound of it, and everything about the whip was amazing. And in fact, 10 million probably doesn't sound a lot to you, and you're thinking, well, yeah, it's 10 million. To put it into context, party hats were 10 million. Party hats ranged from about 8 million to about 15 million at this time. When you went to, so at the time, our Grand Exchange didn't exist. Our marketplace was in Falador, which a lot of people remember nowadays, but I remember the whole way through. Like it was at Varrock at the beginning, the very middle of Varrock, not even where the banks were, but the very middle of Varrock. That's where we used to trade. That's where the market used to be. And then at some point, for some reason, it transitions to Falador. I think it was around RS2 when RS2 was released. We transitioned to Falador Park. And there was, as you got closer to the wall on the north side, that's where you used to sell whips. That's where you used to sell party hats. People at the very top of the wall were party hat sellers, and just below that were whip sellers, and then just below that was like D-Med and dragon leg sellers, because those were the two pinnacle items as well at the time. I don't think we had the dragon chain yet. I don't. No, no, we definitely didn't have the Hellfight yet. And yeah, barrow items were all the rage because they allowed you to buy things like the whip. And no one, I wasn't ever thinking about party hats at that stage. I probably should have been, but well, not probably should have been. I mean, everyone probably says that, oh, I wish I bought a party hat, and I did have party hats throughout my time playing RS3, and I still do, fortunately. But at the time, the whip is what you wanted, and the whip is what I got through Barrows. So I have very, very good memories of Barrows because of what it allowed me to do, and the way it also made me feel. I felt so rich having that whip. So yeah. Anyway, guys, that is it for this video, but I've given you a taste of what's to come. And then also, I mean, frankly, if you play sim companies, you're probably not watching anymore, but I continue to plan to make sim company videos as well, because I love both games and they're both worth talking about. So yeah, until next time, though, I'll see you around.